Hello, third grade. This is Mr. Renner, and we are about to get started on the last story for theme 7. So let's get started. So, a couple of the cool things that we've been talking about in this whole theme, which started before our winter break and then is continuing this week, we've talked about a lot of the ways that the earth kind of moves around and a lot of really cool things that can happen in nature. We talked about, if you remember, we talked about waterfalls and geysers and canyons that can happen at Yellowstone National Park, for instance. We talked about sinkholes, like that gigantic hole that was in the sidewalk, and we talked about volcanoes. There was a volcano at Yellowstone, but also other volcanoes in Hawaii. This is the last story, and this is a really fun fiction story about a earthquake. One of the things that I want you to think about is the strategy from 2 months ago about making images in our head, visualizing, trying to have it as if it's a movie playing in your head. And that means paying attention to the descriptions about how something feels, how they feel in their heart, what it smells like, or what they see, the things, the way a lot of things look, um, and the sounds that they hear. Okay. So turn in your book to page 238 and we'll start reading. Okay. It's called It's Not My Fault. Maria Montes was drawing imaginary fault lines on the back of her notebook. Her class was studying earthquakes again. Maria put her hand over her mouth to cover up a big yawn like that. She looked out of the window. She stared at the mountains and sighed. Her town was practically on top of the San Andreas fault line. Everyone seemed to talk about it every single minute. Even at home, Maria's parents were always talking about earthquakes. They wanted to move to a new house. They wanted to find one that was built on granite rock. That way, it would be on firm ground. Earthquakes find their way into everything, Maria thought. Bring. Excuse me. The bell rang for recess. Maria ran outside. She was ready for a soccer game. Maria, called out her friend Stella, come and play on our side. After kickoff, Maria got the ball. She raced up the field and headed for the goal. Then Tanya Jackson, the soccer star, came out of nowhere. Tanya knocked the ball away from Maria and headed back down the field. I wish, Maria thought, I wish we'd have an earthquake, just a teeny tiny one to keep Tanya from scoring. Just then, Tanya's legs wobbled. The ground underneath her was trembling. There was a soft rumbling noise. Maria stole the ball and scored a goal. So there was some couple of ideas that we could use for our visualizing here. You could talk about what she was thinking and feeling as she was running and playing soccer. The ball got stolen from her, and she had a dream. She was thinking, "Oh, I wish." Do you remember what she wished for? And then, of course, there's the pictures and everything that we can use to check and see if what we were thinking about made sense. So for our activity today, in our Theme 7 packet, we're going to be doing as much of this as we can. We haven't read the whole story yet. We'll finish up tomorrow. But there are some things that we could put here, for instance. It's Not My Fault is mostly about one of these words. And then we have these pictures here. There she is, kind of daydreaming and thinking about earthquakes. Here she is playing soccer. It looks here, you can see that they're crowded under their desks. And here there are Maria's mom talking to Maria, and it looks like she's a little afraid. The words are class, dream, earthquake, school, and shake. Where do you think those words go? We'll talk about it with your teacher, okay? Yeah, have a good day, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow.